Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. We continue to speak about React hooks and React context. In the last lesson, we spoke about sorting and flash messages. Today, we will talk about pagination. Let's go back our static test.html file. You can find the link of this test.html in the description. Here is the static part of our pagination. We will implement this. Let's go back our code, and here let's close all the files except employee list.js. And here first in our components folder we will create a pagination.js file, pagination.js. This will be a functional component, so we will write const pagination, and this will be arrow function. It will return the static part of our pagination, and finally we will export it default. Export default pagination. Let's go back our static file and let's open test.html, another program. Here I open it with Notepad++. Let's go to below, and here this clear fixed div is static code of our pagination. Let's copy this and let's paste inside of this return. Save the file. In employee.js, let's go below. After table, before the model, we will import pagination. We'll write here pagination. Save the file and let's go back our code. And here, this is the test.html. Let's close this one. And here's our application. We don't see this pagination. Why? Because we put here, but we didn't import. Let's go back here. Import pagination from pagination. Save the file. Oh, here is the mistake. Automatically pagination imported from React Bootstrap, but we don't use this React Bootstrap pagination. We will create our own pagination. Save the file and let's go back our code. And here you can see the static behavior of our pagination. Let's go back our code. Here there is an error about href attribute of a tag, and here in the pagination, let's rename this class as a class name. Copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, with Ctrl D you select everything, and now class name. I will add pound and exclamation mark to all href attribute. Save the file, and now everything is working. Let's go back our code, refresh it. Everything is working now. This is the static part of our pagination. First we will implement this static part. After that we will send paginated employees to our pagination component. For this reason, let's go back our code, and in pagination.js, before the return, first we will create some constant. Const pages will be equal 5 because we have 5 pages. And also to list our pages, I will create another const. This const will be an empty array. Const num of pages. At the beginning it will be empty array. Later, to list our pages from 1 to 5, I will write here a for loop. For I is equal 1, I is smaller equal pages, because now we are using a static number for our pages, but later we will take this number dynamically. So I write here pages and I plus plus. Inside of our for loop, we will push every pages to our num of pages empty array, num of pages dot push I. Now we could list our pages, and I will take everything inside of our pagination UL. I am cutting here with Ctrl X, and I am pasting here. I will use them as a template, and comment out them. I will click Shift Alt A, save the file. Here we get an I is not defined. Of course, we have to write let I. Save the file. Now everything is working, but our pagination UL is now empty. Now I will create a useState hook, and this useState hook will handle which button is active. Let's go below the for loop, and here const current button, and the function will be set current button, and initial state will be 1, because in our application first page, the number 1 page will be active. In our pagination UL, first I will copy this sentence, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. In our first case, we want that our active page is page 1, and if our active page is 1, our previous button will be disabled. Let's implement this. Inside of class name, we will write a temple string. For this reason, I used this backticks, and inside of a backtick I will write this JavaScript expression $, curly braces. If current button is equal 1, what will happen? Our previous button will be disabled, so we will use these class names. In else case, we will show just page item class, and here before closing this, we will add an onClick event here. OnClick. This onClick event will fire this setCurrentButton function, setCurrentButton, and takes prev as a parameter. In first case, if prev is equal 1, this will return prev itself, but this has to be a question mark. In other case, if our previous page is not 1, this prev will return prev minus 1. Save the file, and I copy this link, and I will use this link for next button. Here I paste here, and I will write here next. This will be next. In next case, we need the last number of our page. How can we get the last number of our page? This will be not equal 1, it will be equal num of pages dot length, num of pages dot length. If we are in the last page, of course our next item will be disabled, else the class of our next item will be page item. What will do onClick event in this case? onClick event take the next as a parameter, and next is equal to the last page, num of pages dot length. It will return next itself. In other case, if we are not in the last page, it will return next, but this time not minus 1, it will be next plus 1, because in this case we want to increase the number of our page. Save the file, and let's go back our application. Now we have previous and next buttons. Now we will implement numbers from 1 to 5. Let's go back our code. Between our previous and next case, I will map num of pages dot map, and I don't want to receive key error. For this reason, first I will take the page, but as a second parameter, I will use index. This will be arrow function again, and I will return li tag. So let's go back our template, and here let's copy this one with Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Here first key will be an index, and here if current button is equal the page, our active page will be selected one. So let's copy this one. I will paste here, but this time our current button will not be equal 1, it will be equal page. If current button is equal this page, we will use page item, not disabled, we will use page item active, but in another case we will use just page item. Let's erase this space, and also we don't need this one again, and erase these spaces. Let's come below, we don't need this one, erase spaces. Save the file. We failed to compile. Let's go back. Let's check our code. This is JavaScript expression. So we have to take this code between curly braces. Open here with Ctrl X and close here. Save the file. Now let's check our application. We implement our pages, but everything look like one. Let's go back our code. Of course, we are implementing every page as a one. Let's erase this. We will write here page. Save the file. Let's go back our application. And as you can see now, we could see our pages from 1 to 5. Let's go back our code. Now we will add also on click event this button, and this time let's write here, we will write on click event, and this time our on click event will select page, the parameter of set current button. On click will be equal set current button. This time this will take page as a parameter. We finished for pagination component. Now we want to set our employees as paginated. For this reason, let's go to employeelist.js, and here in employee.js, at first we will create two states, one for current page and one for employees per page. Cons current page, and the set function will be set current page, and initial state will be for the state 1, and our second state for employees per page, cons employees per page. Here I don't use set function because we don't need set function here. We will just use initial state. In our pages normally I want to see 5 or 10 employees per page, but to show easily I will show 2 employees per page. For this reason, the initial state will be 2, use state will be 2, and here this A will be capital letter. Before continue, actually I had to say this at the beginning, but I am sorry I forgot it. For this pagination project, I got reference from 2 YouTube videos. One of them is Traverser Media, simple front-end pagination React. And the second reference, this React pagination from GSUA channel. You can find these links in the description below. Let's go back our project and continue coding. Now we will find index numbers of first employees and last employees. Why is that? Because in the page we don't want to show all employees. We want to show sliced employees, and for slicing we need index of first employee and index of last employee. Let's go to below, and here we need index of last employee, cons index of last employee, and this will be current page multiply employees per page. Second, I need index of first employee, cons index of first employee, and this will be equal index of last employee minus employees per page. Now we have index of last employee and index of first employee. We can use slice method for our current employees. Cons current employees is equal employees dot slice, and our indexes are index of first employee and index of last employee. As I said before, we don't want to show our all employees at once. We want to show current employees. In current employees, we want to show 2 employees per page, and for this reason, to show these 2 employees in every page, we need current employees, the total number of our pages. Let's find this cons total pages num. This has to be a whole number. For this reason, we will use math.sale function, math.sale, and we will divide employees.length divide employees per page. For example, if we have 5 employees and our employees per page is 2, 5 divide 2, it will make 2.5. It will sale to up number. For this reason, we will have 3. Total number of pages will be 3 in this case. Now we have to send total page num and set current page to our pagination component as a prop. For this reason, I am coming here. Here is our pagination component. First, we have to send pages. This pages will be total pages num, and our second prop will be set current page, and this set current page will be set current page. Now we will get these props from pagination.js. So save the file here, go back pagination.js, and here we have to get this prop. This will be pages and set current page. So we will getting pages dynamically from employee list.js. Here we don't need discounts, so I am erasing discounts. Let's save the file and let's check if we have any error. Let's go back our application, and here in our application we don't have the page number. Let's go back our code. We are receiving pages from employee list.js, but here now we are sending employees, but we don't have to say these employees. We have to send these current employees. Copy Ctrl C and paste here. Here it must be length. Save the file. We can see number of pages successfully. Let's click 2 and 3. Now our link is not working. Let's go back our code, go to pagination. When we click the button, of course we want to change our pages. For this reason, I will implement useEffect hook in our pagination.js. I am coming here below this current button hook. Here I will write useEffect, and this will be an arrow function. It will work automatically. When it will work, if current button and set current page change, this useEffect hook will work. What will we do useEffect hook? Set current page will be current button. If the current button is 2, set current page, our page will be 2. If selected button is 1, our selected page will be 1. Let's go back our code. Let's refresh. Here our first page. Click second one. Here's our second page. And here's our third page. But here we have a small problem again. We are sorting employees in the page itself. We are not sorting whole list. The reason is, first, let's go to employee list.js. First, we are getting current employees, and then here we are sorting. But if we sort our employees in context, we will solve this problem. So let's take this sort method from here with Ctrl X, save the file, go to the context and employee context.js. Here we are receiving the employees. Now I will sort them in place. Const, let's say sorted employees is equal to employees dot. I will paste sort method, get rid of one of these dots, and here is our sorted employees. Of course, I have to send these employees now as a sorted employees. Save the file. In employee list, I will get as a sorted employees. Ctrl V, save the file. Of course, now employees is not defined. I copy these sorted employees with Ctrl C, and first I have to paste here, and line 36, 40 and 41. Let's go to 36. And of course now our useEffect hook will change, not the change of employees, change of sorted employees. I paste here, save the file. Let's go back our application. And here now we sorted successfully our second page, our third page, and we sorted from D to T successfully. Let's go back our code, and here we are receiving some warning messages. Let's check them here. Of course, sorry, we have to put this template string inside of curly braces because this template string is a JavaScript expression. So get rid of these double quotes, and I will do the same here. Cover this backticks with curly braces and get rid of quotes. And finally, I have to do it here again. Cover backticks with curly braces and get rid of quotes. Save the file. Now everything is working. Let's go back our pagination. Pagination is working, and now also we have active blue color successfully. This is the end of today's lesson. In the next lesson, we will see each other.